Good evening and welcome to Revved Up live on the Spirit of Motorsport TV. This is an interactive experience, so remember you can join in the conversation. Feel free to fire your questions our way and we'll do our very best to send them to the guests that we have on this evening. And please do share. So tag your friends in, share it with anybody that might be enjoying the show. We're here for the next hour and we have one incredible guest and maybe one or two surprises as well. So this evening is a special with the incredible and the uber talented Mr. Billy Skippy McConnell of Rich Energy OMG Racing Team. He is going to be here sharing his stories of the season so far, pre-season, what it's been like being back on that or being on the BMW and how he feels about the season coming up. And we might have one or two surprises, as I said. So get involved in the conversation. Share your questions, share your comments. We want to see and feel your love. So without further ado, I am going to invite the great man himself, Mr. Billy McConnell. Welcome to the studio.
Hey, Hailey, how are you? Thanks for the introduction. That was beautiful. I was waiting to see who else was the guest was.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's great to have you back on with us.
That's okay. Yeah, it wasn't any drama trying to get the right lighting or the right venue for the place, but yeah. So,
you're looking good though.
End, so all sorted.
Exactly. So I'm missing the porn star Tash. Last time we saw you, had quite a special one.
My sister kept making me get it off and kept getting some funky requests. So we decided to get back a little bit of stubble back, and I might have to get back to moustache if I don't get a gold cup soon. So maybe I should try a moustache and see if that helps out.
Brilliant. I love it. Well, Billy, thank you for coming on. It's been great to see you on the BMW so far this season. I'm excited to see what you do for the rest of the season as well. So you are at Silverstone at the minute, is that right?
Yeah, we're at Silverstone at the moment. So we turned up later this afternoon. We had to do a few hours at my testing job at Triumph this morning. But the weather was terrible, and on the way here, it sort of cleared up, and it was beautiful. So I got to see all the boys and that, and hang out with the team and catch up with all the gossip and all that sort of carry on, and then just cruising around.
It's quite a cute little motorhome you sat in there.
Yeah,
very slick.
Swerve in on the boss's bus to get the right lighting and all that for you guys and all that. We're in hospitality before, but they kept dropping out with the Wi-Fi and stuff, so we managed to work our way in here.
Good, great. So, Bill, I want to talk about your journey to Silverstone. You had quite a challenging year last year in 2019, right? So it's great to see you back fit and healthy. You've been working bloody hard whilst you've been in lockdown.
Yeah, it's been good. So, my partner, she's come over from Australia and, with that lockdown stuff happen, it's easy to lose your way in there a bit and not seeing any light at the tunnel for racing, especially after, I've sort of got used to having that bit of time off last year with my injury and stuff. So the lockdown side of things wasn't too bad other than just not being able to go do the things you want. So as everyone probably did, you had a few beers and a few this and then, you say you go for a run and stuff like that. And then I started the first time put Game of Thrones on. My partner put me onto that. And, that was I think we completed the whole series in about a week and a half or something. It's like one more and we'll go do something. Yeah, another one. And pretty much smashed that out. And then, but I do a fair bit of work with Triumph as well. So we pretty much only had a couple of weeks off there while the lockdown was on because all the tracks and stuff like that shut down. But then because we worked in a certain number of team anyway, we're all social distance. There's only about 3 of us that go out there and actually do the stuff. So, which was good to get back on a motorbike. And then as soon as we saw some light at the end of the tunnel with we knew that there was going to be racing starting again, really hit the training and that again. And got all fired up with all the sponsors and because it was such a shame that we did all the pre-season testing and the team really bonded well with Hector, and obviously I've been good friends with Luke for such a long time, and he's a big asset to the team as well, and he's a funny little bloke, and he's got a heart of gold as well, and his good mate Mark's over here at the moment, he's helping us out as well. So the whole team has really gelled well together, and we worked well from Spain, and then so then I just been smashing the training in because I guess that was the main goal was to try to get the championship and do well for the boss and the whole team that put so much love and support into the job. And then once we got a calendar for the BSB, it gives you something to focus on. It's a lot easier to lose your way and your sight and what everyone's doing, because you couldn't even go socialise with the neighbour or anything. So it was good in a way because I've got the key for my local boxing gym anyway, so it was only me going down there, so that was handy, very benefit for me. A lot of people had to go out and buy all the gym equipment. So there'll be a shitload of that back on eBay now, I'd say. So
you couldn't get a kettlebell anywhere.
Coming up for sale, I reckon. So, but yeah, it was good. It was quite funny to see like all the people trying to get into it. I was like running in the morning. And I've never seen some of these people like look like they've never done an exercise session in their life. They're out there skipping out the front, like showing off in front of the neighbours and stuff like that. So, but yeah, fair play to them. But it was like a pretty crazy scene. So.
You look tough as well. I've seen you in your missus. She's training with you in the boxing gym as well.
Yeah, we get down there. So Mark, my he's been training me for a long time. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to. And then so he's been doing a bit there, and he writes a program down for us there on the whiteboard down there. It's a proper like blood, sweat, and tears gym. It's as you walk up the stairs, we call it the hurt locker. Just walking up the stairs to get into place, and every morning. And I try to get it done early in the morning before like work. So I get down there for like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then the first one down there, you flick the light switch on, and you feel like you're doing a little bit extra. So and then once that bit's done for the day, and then we can sort of if you don't get out in the afternoon or anything else like that, you sort of know you've done your bit. So it was good. So I really enjoyed down there. Very blessed that Mark lets us down there at the gym and use it all that. So it's beautiful.
Coming from the Isle of Man, I not only appreciate 2 wheels with an engine, but 2 wheels that like your beautiful bike that you've just got. So you're into your cycling as well without the engine.
I've had this push bike since I got it from Yellow, one of the importer guys there, Yellow Cycles, and I had it for 10 years now. I couldn't believe it. So I've not done anything to it. Yeah. No, the donkey's mine, not the bike.
Yeah. A good ride, even so.
You meant to be hung like a donkey, not act like one. So I had 10 years, and I've had it for 10 years and not done anything. And everyone started to hate going cycling with me because I've had this annoying click in the. Couldn't work it out if it was the bottom bracket, if it was a bearing, and I took it, got it fixed once, and every time it sounds silly because it's a push bike, but every time it gets warm, it starts to click, and like every revolution it clicks, and everyone hated going with me in the end because it just annoyed the shit out of everyone. So in the end, I finally decided to get some bottom bracket bearing put in it, and I spoke to Johnny Towers at that cycle division, and he hooked us up a good deal for these I can't even Caro or something rims, the deep disc carbon wheels for, and I put some grip tape on it down there, and it looks $1 million. I kept looking at maybe getting a new one and stuff like that, and but this thing works. This thing works killer. So went back out and found the love again for it, but now typical, the weather's turned shit again. So I'm a fair weather rider.
Yeah.
Mainly
I hear you.
To put on Instagram. That's it.
Yeah, of course, all about the gram. So Bill, I want to take you back then to 2019. It was quite a bloody. There was a few challenges there for you with the beginning, well, kind of the start of the season with your appendix, and then we had your injury as well. So I want to take you back to when the appendix went, because it's quite the bloody story, if you don't mind sharing it with us. I know you've probably gone over and over it again. It's probably something you don't want to talk about. It's incredible.
The whole year was shit, to be fair, other than signing for OMG. That was the only good thing, because I finally got my divorce and that all sorted. Had to pay that out, and then got my appendix ripped out, and then broke my collarbone. So they say things come in 3. So hopefully we got them all over and done with in one go. So, but yeah, the appendix side of things, which was a bit weird, because we had so we were just before Alton Park. I went in and I had stomach cramps, and I've had this thing in my stomach for years called a Meckel's diverticulum, which is like a small, like a 6-inch growth off my small intestine, which bled 1 year. Just no pain. Just went to the toilet, and there was like blood in it, like quite a lot of blood in there. And they diagnosed it, and normally only find it in like 80 to 90-year-old people, and can cause a problem. Then normally, if you have a real problem, you have to cut 6 inches of your bowel out and stick it back together, and you go again. But they said it only bled once in the whole 25 years, I think I was, when it happened. So they said it's fine. I've never had another problem with it. But I get these had these stomach cramps, and it got worse and worse, kept me up through the night. So I went to the hospital, and was in there, kept me overnight, and they said it sounds like your appendix. But then they did an X-ray for some reason, and then the doctor came around, pushed on my stomach, and told me I was constipated and just needed to go relieve myself. So they gave me some constipation tablets, and and I was still in pain for the next 2 days, but that was on a Wednesday. And then went to the track on the Thursday, and every time I was asleep at night, laying down, would just start sweating and not feel well, and the cramps would start really bad. And So we went to Alton, and then we thought, I just, because I paid for private health since I had this stomach problem last time, because I was in the hospital for 4 days last time and nothing happened. So, but yeah, it's so I paid for private just so I can get pushed through and try to get all the scans you can. But because I already admitted myself into hospital, I sort of couldn't go see the private guys, and you don't really know who to see. So, but yeah, I thought it was constipation after the good doctor said, and then that wasn't it. And I knew something wasn't right because that night I just wake up sweating. So I went to Alton, just wanted to get the race meeting done. And to use private, you need a referral from the doctor. So I went and saw the track doctors after my race, in case they wouldn't let me ride. So the lady said, sounds like your appendix straight away, the doctor. And so she said, go sooner than later. So we got the referral, rung up, and got booked in to see Dr. Thomas, which was an amazing guy. And actually went to the clinic where they do it. And he just had one look at me, and he was late for his Davo dropped me off there because I didn't expect me to come out. So he dropped me off and took off. And he come out, he was running late, had a look at us, said, you're not very well, mate. He goes, I'll get one of the nurses to look at you. And my temperature was through the roof. And he says, you need to go to hospital. I said, well, this is hospital, isn't it? He said, no, mate. He said, you need to book in for operation here. He says, you need to go to a normal. I said, I've been there, and they told me I was constipated last time. And he said, luckily I was his last customer of the day because I was just going to have to get a taxi there. And so he actually took me there personally himself, which was a legend, come in, checked me in, and spoke to the surgeons that he works alongside of, and got me sorted straight away. And then obviously it was still like another 12 hours before any pain relief. And then they had a scan. They told me that they can't really see because it's all lumped together. So I had to sign a form to say if it's my appendix, it will be keyhole surgery. And if I wake up and I'm cut from top to bottom, that they've had to remove 6 inches of my bowel. Which is quite scary because if it doesn't take, you have to have a colostomy bag for the rest of your life. And then I come out of surgery and I looked down and I was cut from top to bottom. So instantly I thought I lost 6 inches of my bowel, and that was a long process to recovery. But the doc come around after I come around and he said that it was my appendix was obliterated, but I had a massive abscess surrounding where the appendix goes.
Ooh, jeez.
Yeah, so they're massive where the abscess and those pipes coming through the side there where the bag is. That was a drain pipe into the abscess cavity, and so I had to have the bag in until the cavity closed down and naturally pushed all the infection out. And then as soon as I got out of that, my sister come over from Cyprus at the time to look after me, and as soon as she went back, I felt sick again and went back into the hospital, and they actually gave me the wrong antibiotics, so I had an infection. So they had to. The bag was still on there, but the actual scar from top to bottom got infected. So they had to take 2 staples out of my stomach where it started to dehiss, they call it. So it started to open up. So basically now I've got a belly button and another one. So it looks like I've got 2 bum holes on the front now. So yeah, look, it was a bit savage by the end of it. But yeah, it was and that pipe inside, you couldn't do nothing because it was literally like a gun hose that went in. So as soon as you twisted or anything, you could just feel it stabbing in the side. So, but you know, like those things get test you, and you realise how when you have a shit result or shit FP practice or whatever, you're that's when it looked me. But then but you have a bad practice session and that, and you realise that things were taken away from you at such a part of your career or whatever, when you think everything's got to be good. So it sort of makes you reflect, that things when things are good, you've got to really appreciate the things that are good, because when things are
agreed.
bad, that's forever as well. So it was a good eye opener as well. It's probably the first time I've missed any racing as well. Not missed the SP race or anything other than from once being knocked out to almost missing the whole year. And then the whole OMG team, Alan was one of the first person who waited 6 hours by my bedside.
He's a good man, isn't he? You've got your signals going there, Bill, for some reason. I don't know why. It's interfere. Can we hear you again? Yeah, that's better. Oh no, it's still going. Bear with us, guys. Bear with us.
You sound like you've had a big night.
Issues with technical issues. Great. No. I'll keep testing the signal. How's that? So going to test Alan. Hey, Al, we're just going to test your signal, how your signal's doing. You're on mute at the minute.
Okay, you're clear as a bell.
There, yeah, you're clear. Great. So Billy, we lost his
Billy needs
signal
to
there
pay
for
for
some
more
reason.
data.
Yeah. Hello, Alan. So, Alan,
Hi, how are you?
welcome. I think Billy's going to be back now. You might have to. It's a shame. Welcome, Al. This is the
Hi, how
problem
you
we've got
doing?
with technical. Thanks for joining us. So,
Pleasure.
as a little surprise visit, it's wonderful to have you here. So, Alan Gardner, owner, founder at OMG Racing. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
you've got the great Billy. What a lineup you've got this season, right? So you got
Billy's just walking into my bedroom now.
oh,
Hi,
good.
Bill.
You can both
I
snuggle
haven't got a
and
cable
get
for that, Bill.
interviewed at the same time.
Come and cuddle up, Bill. You can have one earpiece.
You can
There we go.
actually. I see it's gone. We'll try and get him back on. That would be wonderful.
Bill. He's going to get a charger, I think, or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what a lineup you've got this year, right? So you've got Luke,
we're doing right.
Billy, Hector. Awesome. Come back, Bill.
Billy.
Nice and cash. So yeah, the boys, what is it like to keep them under control?
They're normally okay. Bill's you're not childish at all, are you, Bill?
Never.
No, never childish. No, in the main they're okay. In the main, but when we're working, then they're okay. I mean, they're all very, very focused. But I think most riders are idiots when they're not working. So that just goes. That's part of the course, I think.
I think it's will gel very well with Alan.
Okay, I'm obviously an idiot as well. I am, to be fair. I had a good crash last week, but
Explain that, Alan.
No, I can't explain that. No, I can't explain that. I had a bit of a crash last week, but it's for a project that we're doing coming up in the future. We can't announce it yet, but we're just doing some testing for something.
So you threw yourself out there.
Yeah. I sort of I damaged my arm and. So I've grazed on my arm, bruised or there, bruised my coccyx and broke a couple of ribs, I think. But we'll survive that, won't we? Yeah, it's all right. We can manage. Look at that pretty thing.
Beauty.
Gorgeous bike.
Whoa. Stunning, right?
It is a pretty bike. We do like to build a pretty bike.
It is. I mean, your branding was great anyway, but to bring the rich energy colours in with the branding. Thank you. Had to be done, didn't it?
It's the wrong colour, though. You need the yellow.
I know.
Yellow for Bill.
I know. Hint.
Okay, we'll get you some more of Hailey.
Thank you. Yeah, there's rich energy branding. Just looks so great with the OMG logo and stuff, doesn't it? And also out on track, it looks really special.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're biased, but we tried to make the bike look good. We tried to make it look a little bit obvious for people. I think last year, to be fair, we were a little bit, Billy in his black and yellow was. You can't get more obvious than that, really. It's a bumblebee sort of coming around. Yeah, you had a bit of gay pride for Bill when he stood in after Luke had his crash. We ran out of panels basically, so we just had to. Yeah, every colour you can imagine, we bought a bike for Bill, but that was cool. You came 10th there, didn't you?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and then he went off and broke his collarbone, But yeah, we had a good year of looking after Bill last year.
He did. He was just saying you were sat with him for 6 hours beside his bed when he did his appendix.
Well, I think he lied there. I think it was about 8 hours actually that I was there for. I was there for quite a while. No, yeah, I think it was about 8 hours. I was waiting for him to come out of surgery.
My sister was in Cyprus at the time, so Alan was filling in for her. And
his sister's another Hailey, so I was on the phone there, and then eventually Davo and Pesky and the lights turned up, didn't they? So and kicked me out then. That was it. So you've done your job, you can go now.
Yeah.
But
you got great opportunity in between the illness and the injury, though, Billy, didn't you? You were really showing what you could do when you stepped up for Luke after Luke's crash.
Well, it's definitely it's an opportunity that we all want. You want to go. We went back to Superstock to try to win a position to go Superbike. And then when Luke hurt him, it's the Superbike class for anyone that when you watch it on TV and you can see, you go, why are they down here in 20th or 15th? But the BSB, the person that's in 25th or 30th, they've all won something. If you look at the pedigree and stuff, you got people in there that are world class, and you only have to have one small thing, and then someone's in front of you. So when you get offered the opportunity to step in, you're stepping in halfway through the year, and I haven't had the best year anyway. I wasn't fully fit and prepped and all that, and then we got the call on because I actually had the Thursday night practice session there where Luke hurt himself, and we were on the way there ready for Friday for the Superstock. And then they said about Luke hurting himself. Do you want to ride the Superbike? Because my year was scrap already because obviously the illness. So I thought, yeah, bloody hell. So that's what I want to do. Cadwell's a brilliant track. I always love it there. But riding the 220 horsepower Superbike around Cadwell, after the first session, I didn't know. I said, I wish I didn't say yeah.
Top 10, mate. Go in the top 10.
And then all day Friday was wet, so we didn't even get to have a run out. And then we went straight into qualifying. So I think I qualified 17th or 18th, and then managed to get up to 9th and 10th, and actually had having a little rearrange there. And then there's the multicolored bike.
Yeah, I'm just looking where your hand is. Where you go. I mean that's very standard for you, to be fair, isn't it?
So and then we ended up getting a 9th and a 10th, I think. So that was
concerned about any pictures of me popping up. I keep seeing pictures of you.
Yeah,
and oh shit, don't do that.
So we get a 9th and a 10th, and that was brilliant. And then we sort of had another crack at Alton Park, but unfortunately we had a bit of a problem there where the Superbike was so sensitive on the downshift on the auto blip. I went down one gear, and then as I was moving my foot back to the lever, I accidentally clicked the lever when it auto shifted, but without actually selecting a gear. So I just give it a big hit. It's like blipping the throttle on the side of the tyre, but without going in a gear. So I just give it 100.
Oh, you're saying it was your fault?
I clipped the lever. And actually, if you're a rider and you do lots of damage to the bike, you always got to pretend you're injured anyway, so you don't get so much of a bollocking. But I actually did hurt myself, and I think it was that violent of a crash. I broke my collarbone with my helmet against my side before the airbag.
Well, your collarbone was in.
Up, yeah.
There was a piece missing at the middle, wasn't there? Snapped in two places. So there was. I don't know if you've got that X-ray.
So, but I think my helmet did it because it sort of bucked the bike. I think my helmet did it on the side, and then once just before I hit the ground, the airbag went off as well. So that just wedged the collarbone further in. So, and then unfortunately, and then the dirt road in the ambulance on the way back to the medical centre. I don't think I've abused anyone so much in all my life. Every bump, every pothole, I swear, was hitting on purpose. But so when then we just drove back and went to Coventry Hospital, and then got sorted out there and got a plate in it. So I'm just looking at getting booked in again after the corona, try to get it removed as well. So trying to get the metal work out. Just I don't think your body particularly likes that too much stuff in you. So the doctor said we can get it out and have the winter to let it recover then.
Awesome. Good. I've got a few comments here, guys. I've got to share them with you. A couple of questions as well. We've got
not ones that were in the bedroom just because of that.
We are sat in the bed. It's kind of
we'll save them for later. We'll do another show. We've got
Hailey Coxon.
Baz and B is saying, crazy. I knew you weren't well at all busy, but didn't realise how bad it was. I can't speak now. It's freaking awful.
He was backing up.
I'm more worried about me. Yeah. Look at that. It looks like I've got a bald up the top there.
There's a wrong room ball, mate. I look like I've got a halo on me. I've got a light behind me. I think I've got a halo.
Walter White said he needs to drink more whiskey when he's not riding. Will fight off all his gut infections. Fair enough.
I think that's what caused them all too much.
Yeah.
That was the only good thing. I've still got some of those bags that I used on the side for the drainage, so I've just filled them up with Jack Daniels now. Stick them to the side and take it to the nightclub, so I don't have to buy any drinks.
You are vile. You really are.
Hashtag just being honest. Lee Pepper, Billy, do you like fishing? Fishing for what is the question?
Oh, so this is today. This is at work this morning.
I've seen this.
Basically at work this morning, we had a little practical joke, and my other work colleague, Ons, decided it'd be funny to whack a raw fish in my face, and so then I said would do a little thing and put it in the lake and pretend he caught it like Bear Grylls, and then as he was Lee was filming it, and as soon as he bent down, I nudged him in there in all his riding kit, so we had a nice wet ride home, and his phone was in his pocket and everything, so he wasn't best impressed, but yeah. So, that was that. So, fishing didn't go too well for him either.
Brilliant. And then we've got Maureen Curran. She says, hi, guys. Enjoying the chat from the terrace near Valencia. All the best and have a great weekend. Thanks, Maureen.
That's Maureen. That's Paul's our team Maureen. Principal, and that's his mother.
Ah, right. Fantastic.
Hi, Maureen.
Brilliant. Good stuff. So, Mr. Davo Johnson, Billy, we've had him on here. You surprised him with that great tash of yours. Tell us the connection there and how your bromance began.
Well, Davo, geez, I was meant to mention this in his wedding speeches as well. So we used to call him. He had a few. Oh, he's on. Oh.
There you go.
Is he on? Or was that from before?
No, it's from before.
Oh,
yeah, it's too early, isn't it?
Yeah, we used to have a few nicknames for Davo and that, but we met through a guy called Mick Granger who basically got all of us Aussies over here. He looked after me. Glenn Richards, Peter Ward, and Van Meulen, and all the guys. So we all met. Davo was out injured in 2004, and Pesky, which is Peter Ward, he was out injured as well. So I come over in 2004 from Australia to fill in for Pesky, and obviously I know Davo from Adelaide anyway, but he spends 9 months a year over here when I was still here, so barely knew each other. But I've actually had one of his first bikes he started on, a 125. And then obviously Hinckley is where I live now still, is they call it the Aussie Embassy there at the start because all the Aussies were there. It's central to everything. And obviously handy with Triumph and stuff, the factory there. So we all used to go there. And we used to go out every Thursday night that we didn't have off, the Fever, the nightclub, and it was only like £5 to get, it was £2.50 to get in. And Davo was that tight, that's all he ever used to take out with him was that £2.50 to get into the nightclub. So we used to call him £2.50 a day. And obviously times have changed now. But yeah, that's where it all started. And we used to have a few drinks there on a Thursday and have a good crack. And then basically, he's been like a brother to me ever since. So, we started there and we pushed each other through our career, always trained together and playing squash. And, and then and now he got married and I fell in love with Davo's wife's sister. So we're real close now. So we're like family related. So we've been best friends for a long time, and Davo's really kicked off on the road circuit. He's really come on into a league of his own as well after being with Honda and that. And so we're probably fucking. It sounds probably a bit weird, really. We're teammates, brother-in-laws, and best friends. So we're got the whole box set. So
look at the two of you there, hey.
I'm glad I got rid of that tattoo.
No, we loved it.
Yeah, look, I'm at the pub. It says closed. You're waiting for it to open.
So I've got a question for you, Bill. It says, Billy, is the 2x2 sorted yet? That was from a fan of yours. Apparently, you might have a story. Yeah.
Well, that is what Davo called it because Davo used to come stay in mine in between, and it's my office. It's my office, and my mate gave me a caravan bed. And basically, when Davo comes down, he asks if he can stay in the 2x2 because he calls it, say, 2 foot by 2 foot. So that's what the 2x2 means. But yeah, he had to get in there, shut the door, and then put the bed down, and he slept underneath the office table for 4 months. He sleeps under there.
He's too tight.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So while Billy's obviously known to be a bit of a joker, have you got any stories? I've read a few things. Stories you'd like to share?
I probably can't. That's the problem.
That's a question.
If he's Billy's fiance now, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Nadine wasn't over here, then I could probably tell some stories. But no. You're dangerous. That's the problem, mate. Yeah, no. But he's like any opportunity that I'm glad. I'm worried about what sort of photos that you may have now because you've been popping these photos up of.
We did have we did have one. Yeah. Davo was staying at mine.
I was thinking the Christmas do last year. But no, you can't have that. I'm kind of glad you haven't got that. No, but he's just mad. But he's a good boy. He's always on a high.
Yeah, we like we had one at my house with Davo and that, and we're putting the clear sticky tape or what do you call it? Cellophane tape.
Sellotape, yeah.
And you put it across the door frame. So when the person walks through the door, it whacks them in the face and sticks on their eyebrows and that. And it got that bad with me, Dave, and my other housemate Shannon were living there. It kept pulling all the paint off the door frames. And he got me, David and Shannon got me 3 times. I walked through the front door, got down when I cycled home from work. I was, oh yeah, funny fuckers. Now I went to walk out the back door because it goes down a step. It just caught my hair, so I missed it. I said, oh, you would have got me twice. How was that? And then I went upstairs into the bathroom, whack, got me again. So they got me the whole trio, basically. So that started for a bit. So.
They're all animals, to be fair. And I mean, when we're testing, is normally the worst one because they just get a little bit.
Yeah, well, you're the worst one.
I'm not the worst one.
You should say what they have to do to Alex. Do you have pictures of that?
Oh God, yeah, we have our social media guy.
Social media guy. They made him dress up as a speed camera in Spain.
Yeah.
He dressed up as a chicken.
No. He was the Easter Bunny. That was
Easter
quite good.
Bunny,
Easter Bunny, we
that
did
was a
that.
good one, mate.
But we had him in a sort of a yellow morph suit, one-piece suit, which was poor little bastard. But he's like, he takes it all in good grace. We got him my business partner in another part of the business. We're both bald and both got a goatee beard. You know the other Alan as well, Hailey. But so we got Alex a skull cap and we drew him a beard, didn't we, with a Sharpie pen? So we got a full beard with a Sharpie.
But he does any challenge straight away.
It comes off with brake cleaner, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the team have a good crack anyway.
We try and have a laugh. It's you only have to be serious on the track, don't you? So away from that, they're all a bunch of idiots, really. We're all a bunch of idiots. But most of it, yeah, we shouldn't really be discussing on the radio or whatever it is we're on at the minute.
Whole of the show. Yeah. We've got a few more comments, boys. We've got Irene Wallace says, hello from Bonnie, Scotland. Roy Cartwright is saying, hiya, Billy and Alan. And then we've got Matthew Billington saying, hello, Thorpe from the brewery Coffin.
Billo Thorpe. He's a guy I work with at work. Billo Thorpe used to be a racer himself as well. And then the Coffin is a thing at his local pub, which sent me sideways last time. It's shape of a coffin, but it's all their local ales that are all in the shape of a little samples. And he made me have one time and almost ended up in one.
Love it. Great. So, Bill, let's come back to the BMW. How have you been finding it this year so far? Because you've obviously not had a lot of time on it, but how have you been finding it?
Yeah, I love it. The BMW's
2 podiums.
Yeah, we've had 2 podiums now, and unfortunately, I made a mistake in the first race, trying to be safe and stay out of trouble, and then ended up looking at there was 4 people going into the chicane 4 abreast, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then put myself in a position where I was on the outside of it and couldn't tip in, so I went into the gravel trap and caused myself a mischief, and then the bike was too hot, so it went in going through the gravel trap, so it got bogged almost, and then went into limp mode because it got too hot, so it took me forever to get out the gravel trap. It only gives you 10% of throttle, and then got out of there and just kept going. Hopefully, there was going to be one red flag, and unfortunately, it wasn't. So, but you've got to time in anyway. So, but yeah, the bike is brilliant. The best thing with the BMW, the Suzuki was an awesome bike too for a stock bike, but the BMW with all the Alpha kit on there, we can run a Motec dash. We got the engine braking system, which is on your handle on your left side. You can adjust the engine brake from 2-stroke to more engine brake, so more bleed or less bleed. You can adjust your traction control maps on there, and then also on the right-hand side, flick switch buttons. You also can, if our mechanic puts in a different program to change different maps, we can change on there. So it almost feels very much like a super bike with all the stuff we can change on the button side of thing, where the Suzuki was a little bit limited. And also we run the Motec dash on there, so we get our lap times on there, which on other bikes, like I think the Kawasaki's and Suzuki's, you have to run a separate lap timer which sticks on the tank, which looks a bit agricultural. So the Motec dash actually gives you a split time. So halfway through the time, it'll tell you if it comes up with a green light, tells you if you're under your lap time. So if you're going better, and then if it's red, it shows you basically you're doing worse. And you can set that for different sectors, which helps when you're trying to put a lap together. But overall package, we're running the K-Tech suspension. The team haven't held back and got everything through Alpha, so we know we're on a good package. We're just chipping away at the moment after that mistake. So we've got to try to keep the points rolling in, and when it's time, we can strike. So hopefully, I think around here, it's around this small track creates so much good racing. So I don't think anyone. I'd love to get a break and just run away with it and try to win both races. But realistically, as we've seen in every class that's run here, the racing is normally pretty savage and clear. But I've always known to be a bit of a throttle jockey and sliding the Suzuki and stuff and smashing my tyres. So, which touch wood, the BMW has been, even though I run no traction on it, we found the mapping and stuff, because you can change it from the split butterflies to normal. So one sounds like a big bang engine, one sounds like a normal one. And I can actually really get the tyre life to last, and I actually feel like I'm better at the end of the races, which is good. Where the Suzuki had a real good throttle connection with, and it looked cool sideways everywhere, but obviously at the end my tyres were twisted off and fall apart. But actually around this track, because it's so many right-handers and such a small and not much straight, they get really hot and they blister. We had a problem with a blistering. So for this round of the last couple of years, we get homologated a different tyre, which is a bit harder, I think, and bigger to handle with, the same as what we'd run at Thruxton for the temperature and stuff. So when we tried, I think we won in Spain. It felt good because the diameter is a bit bigger, so it helped the steering and stuff. So, but it feels like forever since we were in Spain. But I'm pretty sure by last time it was a good thing. But everyone's on the same one as well. So, but yeah, overall I'm happy with the BMW. But I think whatever bike the OMG guys turned out would have been a race winner or capable of race winning anyway. It's all about me being on it and getting the results. To be fair,
Bill just went a little bit too sensible in the first race and didn't run like you can, and then fucked it up. So
I think that's the trouble. Like because you put so much time,
he was trying to be careful
and everything in it. You go like everyone's got the same idea, going to win race one, but then you think like everyone was just going to go mad, and I was trying to be smart, which probably didn't suit me that well. And then so in the next one, after I had to play catch up,
he just wanted to ride how he can ride,
and then it was all sweet.
Ride like himself, and he performed. Then,
we all have good fun, and there's a time to be serious, and we're definitely always serious in the garage, but. With the good people in the team, which, I know Paul and Holly and them guys from many years ago. So, it's a team that is a beautiful team, and we all work together, and it'd be nice to get some real good results to really show what the team have been doing behind the scenes there at PCR Performance. And
Bill keeps giving trophies away to other people. He's never given me a trophy.
I know Alan's not interested in the second or third one.
So, he gave one to Daz, and I popped to see a friend of mine earlier today. This morning, John
Fox from River Motorhomes,
and there's a trophy in his office. I'm like, where's that come from? He said, Bill gave me that. I'm like, fucking give me one, yeah. It's not fair, is it?
We're waiting for the gold one.
Okay.
Alan, I just want to quote you. I thought it was a great quote for the beginning of the season. Billy is a phenomenal rider who can ride the wheels off anything that you put him on. So keeping us part of the OMG family in 2020 was one of the easiest decisions I've had to make.
He's not allowed to go anywhere. I was like, he owes me a championship because he was ill last year, and so obviously we looked after him and so forth. But he owes me a championship, so he's not allowed to go anywhere. Simple as that.
Don't want to go anywhere.
So, but he does. I mean, I've got a couple of bikes down at the office, but one of them is a bit of a sort of. It's one of these BMW. It's part of the BMW thing, BMW 9T thing. It's a shaft drive, so it's not meant for wheeling. It's not meant for anything like that. But Billy with Luke on the back wheeling down the back of the office.
Yeah.
So he can.
Big mono on the back.
So yeah, no, he can. I mean, Billy's just naturally talented, which is why when he overthought the first round at Donington, that's why your first race was no good. Because you thought about it, and you shouldn't be thinking about it. You just fucking ride, mate, and you're good then. So yeah, he's not allowed to go anywhere. He's banned. Simple. He's mine now.
Great, thanks, guys. So I've got a couple more comments and questions here. We've got Paul Ricketts is saying, "You fancy having a go at the TT, Bill, in the future?"
No, you screwed that up to last time from when
you did.
I admire every boy and girl that even participate in the TT and have a crack, because I've watched it, and there's something for me as a rider. I'd love to do a lap around it, like a siding lap or something like that, where I know there's no cars and that coming the other way, because I ride a road bike on the road and stuff. But to do it and try to do that for a living, it's that sort of ship's sort of sailed for me. I'm not got I wouldn't say no interest to do the level and how much I worry just doing BSB. I mean, I'd be a bit 3 months before worrying about the TT. I check my front doors locked 10 times, and me going around the TT, man, geez, I'd just be thinking about everything. I just don't. There's certain people that are made for certain jobs, and that's just say I leave to those professionals like James and Dave and anyone that tries to do that stuff. I admire the sport, and I'd love to go racing and stuff. And as heart racing is watching your friends and that, geez, you're sort of glad when it's all over and everyone comes back safe, So it's a beautiful thing, but yeah, not for me. A parade lap, if you can sort that out, that's for sure.
Yeah, we will. We'll get that done. Your mate Stuart Houghton, is it Houghton? He says, "Big love, Bilbo."
Thanks, mate.
Sharing the love. Roy Cartwright. Roy Cartwright says, "Mate, I'm on Wellington Straight, so give me and the other marshals a wave."
Will do, brother.
And then Hailey Hayward says, "Couldn't ask for a better team. Love the OMG family. Good luck, guys. We'll be cheering on from Cyprus."
Yeah, that's my beautiful sister.
That's your sister.
Oh, very good. Thank you for joining us, Hailey.
Happy birthday to her husband. Early birthday. I see he's got a new mountain bike as well, so he's been getting spoiled.
Happy birthday, Mr. Hayward.
Nah.
And
Matt.
That's Mr. Haywood's dad as well, because he's having a little operation as well on his ticker. So hopefully that all goes well to Mark. So
fingers crossed. Paul Rickett says, cheers for the answer, mate. And Shannon Etheridge says, I have the Christmas party photo, Al. Oh, Shannon, send it to us. Send it to us, Shannon. Send it to our messenger. Send it to the Spirit of Motorsport TV page.
Shannon's got his crew chief.
Oh, he's 10 something.
Brilliant.
What's he said? Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Fingers crossed it's going to get sent.
Shannon's got an archive. If you do anything, he's got an archive in his phone.
He's
remember this guy, bang, he's got it there straight away. And like screenshots that we get off Snapchat and stuff, like when you do the stupid faces or filters. There's an archive of me and Davo in his phone. He's dangerous with them.
I'm going to have to start searching. I've got pictures of Shaz.
Yeah.
I've got pictures of him. So we can sort that out. If that comes through, then you'll get some more.
Yeah, the Christmas photo. That was good.
So, boys, Billy, moving forward, then, what are your hopes for the rest of the season? So you're currently sat 4th, is that right, in the championship?
Yeah, 4th. Yeah, we lost a few points there at round 1, so definitely want to keep chipping away. I think, definitely want to win some races. And definitely the championship is something I've been trying to get for we missed out when we had these tyre problems when I was at Hawke. And we think we're in a good position now. It's a short year, but we're only 24, 25 points behind, and it's so easy to make mistakes and do everything. So it's important to try to get on the podium every weekend. And we sort of thought we're in a good position at Snetterton, like sort of eyeing up Chris. He just couldn't quite get the positions. And then Neve come out of nowhere, got a good run, and then sort of blindsided me a bit there. And I just tried to get a bit of momentum to get on back to him, and then sort of missed it. But, we think here will be a good opportunity to try. You just got to make sure you put yourself in the top 3 every lap, really, because it's a bit like Moto 3 sometimes. You go from 1st to 5th or to 6th and then get pumped, and it's just so easy to... You can't really make a race plan. So, like Alan says, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to enjoy myself, and hopefully me race and mine takes over. And we feel like we've got a good few podiums now, and I feel like we can have a good crack this weekend and just see how this tyre life lasts, and try to work really hard on the bike with Shannon and my boy Daz and the K-Tech guys. We actually went and tried some different stuff at a track day. Unfortunately, I got cut short because, for the rain come in. But we had a few laps there to try something, and I think that might help us this weekend. So, so we just keep chipping away. The bike is always prepped and looks beautiful every time. And as soon as you walk into the garage with that rich energy livery and that, you feel like a superstar walking in there. So when you look good, you should ride good, and everything should be else good. So when our hospitality looks killer, so the team are doing everything right, and it's just about time that we all did our bit and try to get on the box and put it on the top one.
And is there any particular track coming up that you really are excited about taking the BMW out on?
I think the proper I look forward to Donington full circuit. That's good. Alton Park, I love Alton Park full circuit. I love them all, to be fair, because any track that you do well at, you sort of do good. If you put a thing in your head that you don't like a track, normally you turn it. I used to hate Silverstone, the long circuit, because I always did shit, and I come here finished first one race, and then I loved it. So it's always one of them. And I think once you put a little seed in your head, you can really grow on it, really can say it. So I think any track, I think the best one will knock Alton Park will be really, really good for the BMW. But, everyone's competitive, it's only a sniff it off and then you're back on there. And it's just being there at the end, like Donington, I qualified 15th or something, finished 2nd. So, it's just one of them, you just got to make sure you work smart in the race and stay out of trouble, because the Superstock, there's a lot of people just charging out there, and it's, Superbikes there's a lot more experience, so people just pull in the pit lane a lot better, hand signals, people not waiting around in the middle of the track to get it. You could be out there on a qualifying lap, and some people just dawdling around coming into the pit. So, and I think it was 50 or 45 people saying it's Snetterton, so it's really hard, and that Coram, you try for a clear lap, you clear all that bit, risk your bollocks off to try to get a good lap, and you come around and someone just run off the track, run around in the middle. It's sort of a bit frustrating, really. Everyone's out there doing their bit, but the Superstock sometimes can get a bit crazy to get your perfect lap in and get everything to get a good cruise position. So you got to be
too busy. It's
smart not to lose your shit and throw your finger up and then run off the track and hurt yourself either. So
such a short lap here as well.
Yeah, it's a short lap here, and everyone in the pit lane coming out
just bunch up so much.
Can come straight out as well.
50-second lap. So
yeah, so we're just going to just do our thing. We've got 2 races this weekend, which is cool. One Saturday, one Sunday. So that's good. It's all good.
Amazing. Thanks. I've got a couple more questions for you here. Bazza B says, Alan and Billy, do BMW teams help each other out a bit with spares, setup, etc. in the BSB, or is it very much every man for themselves?
I think OMG, we when we come into the paddock, we try to be as friendly as possible. So we've always helped people. We did with Suzuki. If anybody needs anything with BMW, if we can help them, we will. We'd rather. There's no point in. I mean, if somebody's weak for a part, then if you beat them for that, you haven't really beaten them. So I'd rather either beat somebody because we were better, or have them beat us because they were better on the day. That you know. So if they need a part and we've got it spared, then we'll happily lend. I mean, we look after. FS3 had a bit of a problem. This isn't spares, but FS3 had a problem to start this year with a sponsor. They lost their hospitality, so we're looking after them in our hospitality now. So, and they're Kawasaki. They're not even BMW, for God's sake. So, no, we'll help anybody. Chloe Jones had a problem with her bike at Snetterton, so I bought her some fairings because she, there's the only way she was going to race and that. So, no, we'll help anybody if we can.
Brilliant. And Stuart Houghton says, I've known Billy since the first time he came over, and what has been his most memorable round? Great question, Stu.
Well, I think one of the stories where the 160 with me is when I first come over. I've never ridden 1,000 before. I won the Superstock Cup race. Never ridden 1,000 before. Qualified pole and won the race in 2004. But it was the Cup race with me, Peter Hickman, and stuff like that. So that was a good one because we didn't know how it would get on first time here. But it'd have to be when I won the R6 Cup Championship with Tamworth Yamaha, because that sort of set me onto the professional scene. So once you win the R6 Cup, there's no championship like it. You basically get a full factory superbike ride straight into the penultimate class. And if it wasn't for that, hands down, I probably wouldn't be here now. So had a great teammate, Tommy Hill, which taught me everything about the business side of things and how to look after sponsors and how to sort of become a professional. So, I had the perfect teammate, and Rob Mack did a brilliant job in Yamaha for having that. And it's such a shame that it's now these kids have got to come up with so many sponsorships and all that, and to try to get rides and to try to show them talent. I think the British Talent Cup does that, but I think if you win it, I don't know if you get a ride or not for the following year in a championship. But for me, the R6 Cup winning that, because it felt like that we actually won a big prize to really kickstart a career. And then when I think it's the championship race wins and stuff is always good, but when you enter the class, you're sort of trying to always win the championship. So if you win one race, instantly you're thinking about the next one because you need to get them points to keep doing that. So, but that one-off race that I won when I first got over here, that was just here, won that, and that's it. We were sort of done. So that was cool, and it was the first time in England. First time my mum was born in England, so we all come over so it was pretty cool. Made my dad cry anyway, so that was always good. That's emotional. So hopefully we'll get boss crying on Saturday, Sunday when we win the double.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Send us pictures. Yeah.
Won't happen.
So,
for a poll.
How's this for a picture? Look at that.
Hey! It's a great pose. So, Bill, we've just got to touch on quickly Triumph. So your history of Triumph, you were working with those guys in part of some pretty big launches. I know you missed out on one just to be at Davo's wedding as well, but tell us a bit about what it was like to be part of such a great brand.
Yeah, so I've been with Triumph for 10, 11 years now, since 2010, since Paul Young was a test rider with Triumph, so we got me in. And we're just basically, we can't talk too much about it because we do a lot of the research and development stuff there and do a fair bit of testing and just general stuff with them. And then I'm very blessed with my friend Gareth Bright, who looks after all the events and press events for all the new launches of the bikes that we've been working on, to finally see them in production, and for all the journalists and the journalists to come ride them and see what their feedback is and all that. So that job is beautiful because we get to go to, like, Portugal was for the rocket launch. So I go there and there's either a lead rider and a tail rider, and I normally go as the tail rider. And so basically, you normally get about a group of 6, and you go through some beautiful.
You ride in tail.
Yeah, beautiful terrain up through the hills and that, and make sure so where no one gets lost and stuff like that. And you get to see all the beautiful trails, beautiful hotels, and a beautiful event, and get to see all the nice reports that hopefully people write about the beautiful bike of the Triumph. So Triumph's been a massive part of me. I won the British Supersport Championship for Triumph. Got my name in stone out the front next to all the boys like Steve McQueen and the Fonz and all that. So I was really happy Gary Johnson's on there and Luke Stapleford and all that. So and now they stopped making race bikes. So hopefully that's a little bit of history out front, and it's 500 meters from my house. So I've always got a soft spot for Triumph. Love the motorcycle, love the product, and love being a part of it.
Brilliant. So, well, this weekend coming up, how are you feeling about it?
Me?
Yes.
I'm always good for it.
You're always good for it.
Yeah,
what about the racing?
I'm always good for a bit of racing as well.
You can always tell the level of stress for how quick the cigarette goes down.
I think I'm pretty good. I don't show too much stress, do I?
No.
I just it takes quite a bit to get them to wind me up. They do now and then. But I don't think Bill's ever wound me up. No, I don't think Bill's ever wound me up. No, I mean we try and make everything comfortable and everything peaceful, and if the guys need anything, then within reason they get it, just so that when they actually get to the track, then they can perform at the best. They have no stresses, they have no things that they need. They're not worried about this, not worried about that, and on that basis, they'll do what they can do. We try and build as good a bike as we can for them. They try and ride it as well as they can, and I mean, hopefully between that, then
ride fast, we've got to make a good excuse out. But unfortunately, with all the data and stuff now, you can't really lie away from nothing. So.
But I just need to do what I mean. Billy's such a natural rider, that's the thing, and it's sort of so you just sort of unleash Bill and just let him go and do his thing, and he'll bring things home. It's cool.
Unleash the beast.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, good. There's a great beast mode on your lovely lady. Is it Nadine as your partner?
Yeah,
is that right? That great picture.
She's just so Alex has been helping her out trying to get some. So we're trying to do my social media stuff's pretty average because I'm not very computer wise. So Alex is teaching Nadine to do some stuff so she can start doing some more stuff and keeping everyone updated and just try to get a bit more into that and interact with a few more people and. To keep people up. So we're hopefully going to start doing some blogs of weekly stuff and what we've been up to training wise and just the general stuff. Really, I don't want to get all that turn it into being too serious and all
that. I'm
to
swap hands, mate. I'm getting cramped here. So that's bad, isn't it?
That's not even from the phone.
Oh no, dreadful.
So fully into beast mode for the weekend then, Bill. I'm wishing you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we need a bit of luck. Always luck's on the side. So hopefully everyone's tunes in and cheers on.
And get the champagne out for you, hopefully at the end of the weekend, yeah? All right, so we've just got Kevin Boyden says, Billy Top Lad, I miss cooking it in Athlone unit. Chef Kev?
Yep.
Okay, Chef Kev. Yeah. And then we've got Bazabi says, best of luck for this weekend. And Hulwen Archer says, what did Bill think of the TT when he was over with Davo a couple of years ago? Oh, you've just kind of answered that, really, haven't you? Crazy.
TT's amazing.
It is, isn't it?
The thing I love about the TT is or motorcycles in general. Even if you go to the pub or someone you meet someone coming with a bike, you always say, "Oh, hey, go, mate, what bike you got?" And it's always a good icebreaker or something like that. But anyone in the motorcycle industry, normally they might talk a load of shit and bullshit about going around the roundabout with a knee and elbow down. But normally you always get on as a good icebreaker. You go to TT and it's just full of bikers. I don't know if I've been here. I didn't really see any trouble or anything. Everyone's sort of helping each other. And it was like a massive family just gets, everyone goes there for the right reason. And that's, I've been to a few events and normally you get drunk people and all that stuff. But it was always the TT was a good vibe and everyone's there for bikes. And
I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody drunk at the TT, Hailey.
No, neither have I. So, Bill, we've got a couple of pictures we want to share with you before we close off. This is one amazing catalogue pose. It's very stunning. I like it a lot.
Actually against the back of the trailer, so it looked quite cool. Yeah, we're not even looking at anything now. We're just full posing up.
Love it. Very slick, very slick. And what is this all about?
That was cool. We did we did a bit of a Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
When we did, we had 3 different colour bikes last year. So obviously Billy was on yellow and black, and we had Luke was on a blue and black, and Josh was on pink and black. But we from that, you end up with Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs and all these other things. So I ended up having to buy you all a suit, didn't I?
Yeah, and buy the suits and the tie. I've still got
guys, can you bring a black suit?
But the worst thing about it is we're at the actual
yeah.
Yeah. All the other teams looking out the glass window while this
banging on the glass like this, as they're trying to come along different calls.
It's hard work to try to keep composed with our elasticated ties.
Elasticated tie.
I've still got mine. I'm waiting to get married. I'm going to put it on.
Good boy.
Love it. Right. Well, boys, there's some beast mode on 110%. We're going to be cheering you on from the sidelines and watching on the telly. And all the best to all of you over the weekend, the 3 riders. Al, behave, stay cool. And I look forward to seeing you boys soon. Thanks so much, Billy. Hopefully there's going to be more of this at the weekend. Al, thanks again for your time. It's been a pleasure having you both on, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Easy, guys. All the best.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in. Thank you for your comments, for your questions. I'm Hailey Coxon. This was Revved Up Live on the Spirit of Motorsport TV.